I hope
looking
we still
forward
can
to it.
hug people.
I know, right?
It's like I go up to people.
We
my
gotta
friends,
hug people.
Can I?
We are finally outdoors again, and for once not at my desk. And of course, being here in Lahaina, we have Zane here, of course, who else? And we just want to talk real quick a little bit the lookout, because I'm being hammered with race cancellations. We are having virtual races going on, Padlimua, M2O, everything is going virtual. And I'm just wondering, because you're heavily involved on the APP side and SUP surfing, what's your plans for the coming year? Is your travel schedule for the second half or like the last quarter still standing, or what's going on there?
Yeah, for competition, Mike, I'm planning on staying prepared, staying focused, and waiting for the green light. You know, at this moment, it's uncertain whether or not we will have any events for the rest of the year, but currently the APP still is planning to run their last 3 events for the surf, but we'll see. I haven't received any updates. I mean, as far as what's keeping me busy on my day-to-day on Maui, though.
Yeah, what are you focusing on right now in the short-term mode?
I think right now I'm focusing on media, and you know, I think everything's right now focusing on media. At home, I'm doing a ton of online coaching. And so if anybody out there wants to send me some videos, I have an online coaching program where I'm doing video surveillance coaching. We do Zoom calls together, and so that's been keeping me real busy, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I've also been trying to create somewhat of a podcast series. I'm building out Zoom with Zane talks with people that I find inspiring. And you know, I think during these times of we all are faced to adapt, and everything's starting to turn more towards online. And
right. Yeah.
I myself am finding a lot of education online, a lot of inspiration online, especially since we don't have these opportunities to surround ourselves with the community that inspires us in person. So it's good to be able to offer that knowledge one way or another. And so I'm just trying to adapt and keep sharing. You know?
Nice. I saw you did a little online live interview video with Kirsten Thomas.
Yeah.
What was the main focus there? What you guys talked about mainly? What was the highlights, the points that you were brushing on?
Yeah, so Kristen Thomas, she's been a part of the SUP community for as long as, I feel like over a decade now.
Right.
And we had a great talk just discussing what it's been like to be involved as an early pioneer of the sport, and what it was like to be a young junior pro at the forefront of the peak of our sport.
Right.
And I had a lot of fun just sharing stories about you know, our perspective as Maui boys, you know, our unique.
So what's some of your highlights there? What was like one of the highlights? If you think about the last decade, my last magazine was just about the whole decade. What's your standout? What's coming first to your mind?
The Ultimate Waterman comes to my mind first for sure.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's not only was it an experience of a lifetime to be able to see the country in that way, but as well to compete in a diverse range of sports over a period of 10 days with some athletes that I find inspiring, and not only just surfing, but in a wide array. And so every day I felt like I was able to grow and push myself one way or another. And I think that's really, for me, separating the ego of competition. And that's what was so unique about that event, was we were all there for a competition, yet we know that we're not quite an expert in all 8 sports we're competing in.
So for those who don't know, real quick, Ultimate Waterman is an event in New Zealand where people from canoe, surfing, paddling, I think even swimming maybe.
Swimming, surf ski.
Kind of something like the Iron Mana that we know from Tahiti, kind of like an overall waterman sports event, just so for the people that don't know that.
Yeah, so it's real exciting. I mean...
Is that still happening? Is that still going on?
Unfortunately, they had a 3-year contract with the New Zealand government. And they haven't yet been able to find another supporting sponsor to make it happen.
Gotcha.
But I mean, nonetheless, if it were to never happen again, it'll be an experience I'll never forget.
Of course.
And a result that I'll forever be proud of.
Weren't you guys helicoptered into some secret surf spots?
We were being dropped off
surf
with
and stuff like
surfboards
that?
on our laps with helicopters. It was
insane.
Yeah.
That's like everybody's dream. Helicopter into a secret surf spot and just surf some hidden beach somewhere, firing.
Yeah.
What else as far as like more SUP SUP related goes.
Yeah,
Highlights
as
there.
far as more related to directly SUP, and the Ultimate Water did have 2 different SUP categories,
Gotcha.
SUP Race and SUP Surf. But as far as over the last 10 years, I could definitely say it's being able to see the world. I would never have been able to go visit over 50 countries, make friends on every corner, experience every continent,
Right.
paddle in all these different places. And it's because I pursued this sport, and it's because I
Yeah,
followed this
great.
opportunity, and I had so many chances to veer away from SUP, whether it was for windsurf, for surf,
Right.
for canoe. I had many opportunities, even in school. I had great grades in school as a young kid. I could have easily gone to college, but I made choices throughout the last 10 years that allowed me to pursue this career in SUP, and
Great, and
I'm
yeah,
so grateful.
Yeah, it's a great 10 years. You did really well in it. And speaking of community, also now, just to bring it back to that virtual thing, with Zoom meetings and everybody meeting online, it is really great to see this new thing of these virtual races. And we hear that there's over 1,000 participants worldwide in the
Wow.
M2O already,
Wow.
which is just remarkable, and which also made me think, is like, why did nobody come up with that earlier? Like, make one day of the year where the whole world is paddling in one race, yet on their own body of water.
Yeah.
Maybe this is kind of a future to look at it. Maybe this is
100%.
will be integrated in a regular race schedule, or maybe like a waterman kind of competition where people do their own thing and then they upload it to some platform.
We're throwing a handful of stuff against the wall right now with this whole pandemic.
Right.
And I think a lot of it is going to stick, you know, including things like our evolving education system. I mean, you look all around the world and you see students having to transition from the standard education system to a homeschooling platform.
Right.
And you got kids all of a sudden smashing out a whole semester of work in a fraction of the amount of time, learning to manage their own time,
Yeah.
learning life values. I think we're going to see a huge shift in the standards of not only competition, but education and business and whatnot. And I think it's going to go a lot more towards the interactive, virtual type of things, like we see with the Molokai to Oahu. And hey, why not? I mean, look at all the money that guys like Tristan Boxford and all these competitions spend on events every year, when you could really put together an amazing community event with nothing.
On a
And
platform,
we
and
all
even
have iPhones.
no
we all
safety,
could
right?
stream the live
No
feed.
safety boat required.
As long as it's going to the same platform, it's like we're making a huge impact.
Nevertheless, the beer after the competition and to talk about it, and everybody high-fiving each other.
Yeah, never
You can't do
that.
that really through iPhones and computer
No.
screens. So I'll definitely miss that. So regardless, I think the actual human interaction, there will be probably a little bit of a mix in a post-pandemic world, no doubt.
Yeah. I hope
looking
we still
forward
can
to it.
hug people.
I know, right?
It's like I go up to people.
we
my
gotta
friends,
hug people.
Can I hug you? Handshake?
Right,
Knuckles? What are we doing?
I know, yeah. No, we got to get in for a good hug. And with that being said, hey, thank you so much, and we'll see you for another update some next time.
Yeah, want to leave you guys with one last little word. Remember to stay kind to one another during these sensitive times. You never know who could need a little aloha.
Exactly. Aloha. Well said. Thank
aloha.
you. All right.